Hi, it's Angela Critters. I'm back again to make another delicious ooey gooey butter cake cookie bar. You know that's my favorite cake to make. I need a cake for something suddenly, and I don't have time to make anything real homemade. So to start off, I needed my 2 room temperature eggs. I went ahead and let them sit in some hot water for a little bit so they would be ready. So ooey gooey butter cakes start off with a cake mix. This one's going to be with a German chocolate. I'm actually making my version of an earthquake cake. So I've already got my pecans chopped up fine, and there on the bottom I've got a piece of parchment paper underneath, and I'm going to sprinkle coconut. Earthquake cakes have been around for a while, and I'm just a big fan of these ooey gooey butter cakes, so I try to turn everything I like into a ooey gooey butter cake bar. So now I've put on a little bit of coconut, and I've got my mix already in my container and my container. If I ever made a video one time and said the words right, y'all would probably faint on the spot. Okay, so I've got my cake mix in my mixing bowl. I'm going to throw in my 2 room temperature eggs. I've already melted 1 stick of unsalted butter, and I'm going to toss in just a tad of vanilla, and that's the actual cake. So it's the stick of butter, a little bit of vanilla, 2 room temperature eggs, and pour it in, and you're going to mix it together. I'm going to stop it a couple times throughout and stir down the sides. I'm such a fan of these cakes. I absolutely love them. If I could make every cake into an ooey gooey butter cake, I would. If you're not familiar with ooey gooey butter cake bars, the reason they're called ooey gooey is even after they've cooked 40 to 45 minutes, they're still ooey gooey. And when they come out of the oven, the whole top is shimmery. It's got this beautiful shine. Oh, and it looks like you need to put it back in the oven, but you don't. You let it sit for a few minutes. I'm scraping down my sides. The topping is so good. So I've got my softened cream cheese. I'm using the same bowl that I mixed up the cake in. It comes almost completely clean when you use your spatula. You don't have to wash it out. So this is so easy. It's going to be the 8 ounces of cream cheese. And I've got my 2 eggs that I made room temperature. There's 2 eggs in this too. This is not an icing. You've got to remember this is a filling. That's why it's allowed to have eggs. In one of my gooey cake recipes, somebody asked me how I could have an icing with egg in it, and I had to explain it's cooked, it's okay. So, hold on. I will get a clean beater. So I'm going to be putting in a little bit of vanilla again. I've got my 2 eggs, my 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I'm going to add 1 cup of my confectioner's sugar at a time. And I'm all ready. I've got my cake pressed down, and I had to use a spoon and kind of roll it because the German chocolate cake batter is a little bit wetter than the yellow cake batter. So somebody asked me one time how I didn't weigh 500 pounds and why I wasn't like a diabetic for all the cakes and things I made. You'll see this is in a to-go container. It won't be staying at our house. I'm giving it to somebody. I give the majority of everything away. So this is just going to mix up real quickly, and it's going to sit on top, and it's going to make it the ooey gooey center. So I've got it mixed up. You'll still see a few little tiny pieces of cream cheese. Don't let that scare you. That's just how cream cheese is. The cream cheese will be perfectly melted and blended by the time it cooks. So you just spread it across. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's all going to ooze together while it makes the gooiness. And you don't bring the filling all the way to the edges. You want to see a little bit of the cake, because that's how you know that this is cooked, because the cake starts. See how you can see the edges? I want to be able to see that the edges have browned and that they're cooked, since the center will still look gooey. So it's going in right now at 350. It's out of the oven. See how beautiful it is? Can you see how the edges are lightly golden, but the cake itself is still jiggly? So welcome to the world of gooey butter cakes, and you'll love my earthquake cake. I just know you will. It's so good. Now, all gooey cakes should be cool before you cut them. And if you're going to take it somewhere, don't cut it till you get there. And I have found that I chill them sometimes first. If I'm going to put a platter of them out, I sometimes chill them so I can go ahead and cut them easily. And I will dip a knife into water to make sure that it's clean, and then cut again because it's going to get sticky. You're going to love these. Give them a try, okay? And listen, if you're new at the channel, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. And come back again. Bye-bye.